Well, it's a group of superstars who've shown up today. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So just pat yourself on the back for being at the newest, greatest, brand new, first time ever Ignite Live. You showed up to be one of the pioneers. I love it. 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 Each and every one of you. So magnificent that you're here. I'm really, really, really excited about Ignite Live. And I just know that it's going to blossom and grow and grow and grow and grow. And the more people we tell about it, the more people we share, the more people we dial in, the more fun it is absolutely going to be, because Ignite Live, this is where you want to be on a Tuesday, because this is where you're going to learn, grow, expand, and connect with some of the best people on the planet. I really, really do feel like I'm very privileged to be a part of quite a few different communities, and I happen to just think that the Ignite community is the coolest one ever. Cool people, great people, heartfelt, centered, focused, and really vulnerable, authentic people who are making a big, big, big change in the planet. And I'm super proud to be a part of that. So Ignite Live, welcome, welcome. Peter, we need to get like some kind of song or anthem for Ignite Live, because it is so cool. So what are we doing here? Well, you guys have been watching us and connecting and staying tuned for the last couple of weeks. But what we want to do is open it up to the new people. We want to make it easy and convenient for all the little lost shepherds that have been out there, a little lost flock that has been out there in the last 18 to 20 months, that have written books but have had to disconnect because of COVID or because of life or because of all kinds of different things. We want to welcome them back into the fold. And so that's what Ignite Live is going to be. And you guys, each and every one of you, you get to put the Pioneer badge on your clothing, that you were here for the very first call. So you'll be able to be the troopers and the beacons of hope for others. And when people don't know what it is, you guys will be able to tell them what it is. So go out, and any Ignite author that you know of, let them know, like, you have to be at Ignite Live because it's going to be so cool. So what are we going to do today? Well, I made a little list, and you know me, I never make a list. I always just like do it off the top of my head, but I did make a little list to be very, very, very accurate. And I thought this would be kind of fun, like why, what, where, when, and how. What are the big fundamentals of Ignite Live? What's it all about? So why are we doing it? Well, we want to pour into each and every one of you. We want you to get the best possible content about being the business of your authorship, because I say it all the time, you can make great cupcakes, but if you don't know how to run a cupcake shop, you're in a little bit of trouble. So you can write a great story, you can publish your book, we can help you all along the way, but there's some more things that have to happen after that. And I want to help you get in the mindset of what it takes to be an author, the business of being an author. You know, when you go onto a car dealership and you buy a car, nobody tells you where to drive that car. Nobody says like, oh, by the way, as you take the keys of this brand new Jeep, you should definitely go up the side of that mountain over there because you're gonna have a way better experience. Nor do they say like you should show up over, drive it to the mall. They don't tell you how to drive your car. They just give you the keys and let you do it yourself. Now, how many people have had something like a car or an instrument or tool and they've never used it to its full capacity? Many of us, we just go with what we know. And so that's how I feel about your authorship. I really want to help you see other ways that you can drive this engine, which is you. You are the engine of your success, and I want to show you some ways to do that. So that's why we're showing up at Ignite Live. Addition to that, I really want you to network with each other. I know how great you all are. I get to read your stories. I know what your CV says. I know what your talents are. I know what you're doing on the planet. But guess what? A lot of other people don't. And it's sad in some ways that you guys don't really get to see each other or see what each other's about until you get a copy of the book or until Ignite-A-Rama. In fact, last Ignite-A-Rama, the authors were in tears. They were in such tears of joy for each other. And they said, all of them said, like, I wish we got to connect better before. I wish I knew all of this about you before their final book launch. And so we feel like connecting you with one another is going to be the brilliance of this community. You have no idea the people you're about to meet, their powers, their skills, their superpowers, their special talents, what they do. And there is no coincidence. Anyone believe in no such thing as a coincidence? Let's see, show up hands. That's right, there is no coincidence. So it's no coincidence that you are here, the people that you're going to meet, and the things that are going to evolve from here. Now, a couple of days on my Facebook, I did a live where I talked about, and it really came to me in the mornings. You know, in the morning, God always talks to me while I'm still kind of waking up, laying with my head on the pillow. And what I really heard from him was that imagine if each and every single person you met today had a significant reason for being in your life, like every person, like the guy that hands you your coffee at the coffee shop, the person who cuts you off on the street, the person that, you know, you phone to get fix some kind of, you know, bill that you're trying to solve, the person who helps you with your cart at the grocery store. Like if every single person you thought of in a way that they're showing up in your life today for a reason and a purpose, and they're going to ignite something possible in you, then it totally shifts how you see people wherever you are and however they show up. So it's a really, really neat thing. And that's going to happen today in this call. Now, what are we going to do? Well, I'm going to teach you the best of the best this week. I'm going to talk about all the things that we did this week so you get like an updated version. And then I'm going to show you some skills and ways to monetize your book. And then we're going to do some fun networking. Where is it going to happen? Well, it's going to happen on Zoom right now, but our goal is to get a new system called Remo, which is a really neat virtual networking system that allows you all to connect virtually in cool little rooms that have little chairs and virtual things, and you can pop around the room and you can have like private chats amongst you. We're headed in that direction, but we need to have a few more participants to make that a success. So for now, we'll do it on Zoom, and then we'll move over to Remo as we get more and more and more people into this call. Now, where's it going to happen? Well, it's going to happen right here on Tuesdays. Every single Tuesday, it's going to be right here at 1 o'clock Mountain Time. So wherever you are in the world, we hope that you are enjoying the time. We've got our Australians here. Big round of applause for Australians. We got our Europeans here. So we've got people who are really early in the morning, and we've got people who are late at night. And that's why we're doing it right now, is because we want to connect with as many people as possible. And then the big question that everybody wants to know is, what's in it for me? Well, what's in it for you is the opportunity to learn, to grow, and to meet cool people. So anything that you feel is when you show up, if you have an intention of why you're coming to Ignite Live, that is super, super powerful. I remember my very first time going to A-Fest, which was, there was about 350 of us. And I bopped around like a little butterfly, like, oh, hi, how's you doing? Oh, nice to meet you. Oh, what are you all about? What do you do? And I was like bopping around from like 10 minutes from person to person. And at the end of it, I actually really only connected with my roommate because I was so busy thinking that I had to meet everyone that I never really gave any one person my time and attention and really had a heartfelt conversation. And so I learned very, very quickly that that's not the way to network. A little bit here and a little bit here and a little bit here. In fact, next year when I went back to AFES, you know, another 100, 350 people, I went in with the intention, before I even showed up in the big ballroom, I sat in my hotel room and said, my intention is to meet 10 of the most amazing, incredible, perfect people for me right now in my business and where I'm at in my life. And some of those 10 people now, 5 years later, are my closest best friends, because I was intentional about what I wanted to get from that meeting, and that was to meet the right and perfect people for me. So what's in it for you is to set an intention. What do you want to achieve, not only in Ignite Live, but this month in March of 2021 and in this entire year? Knowing what you're going after is vital, and we'll talk a little bit about that more in the next section. So let's do a recap. What happened this week that was super exciting? Well, many of you were here to listen to Mr. Lesler Bailey. So he was chatting last week on our Candlelight Conversations. If you don't know what a Candlelight Conversation is, it's our Saturday experts meeting where we really want people to pour some new ideas into you. And some of you were there, and Lester talked about the power of just being yourself. So grab a piece of paper or a pen, and I'm going to share with you the very first thing that Lester taught us is he asked us to write down each day when you wake up, write down, what is my purpose for today? It was really powerful. I did that this morning. I was in my journal and I wrote down, like, what is my purpose today? 4 a.m. I get up, it's cold outside, it's dark, it's blah, 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 it's not so fun. And I opened up my journal and I wrote down, what is my purpose for today? And of course, Ignite Live came up, and my purpose for today was to pour into all of you. So just take a moment. I know wherever you are in the world, it could be a different time of the day, but just take a minute to reflect. What is my purpose for today? What is my purpose for today? Just write that down. I adore you guys because you're all got your heads down, working hard. I know I got a room full of authors. Hey, Mike, nice to see you. I love that you guys are all writing now. It's so interesting because generally we think about what's our big purpose, like what's the big purpose? And a lot of us get caught up on that because we don't really know our big purpose. It's some of us need to go on a quest, on a nature hike, on a walk, on a silent retreat. Some of us really spend years figuring out what our purpose is. And that sometimes gets us glitched up because we're like, well, I don't really know what my purpose is just yet. But when you break it down to what is my purpose today? What is my purpose today? Who am I going to meet today? Who am I going to influence today? How am I going to complete something today? What am I going to stop procrastinating about today? What am I going to get off my plate today? Who am I going to connect to? What am I going to make special today? If you just focus on what's your purpose today, and you write down, so I just kept writing down like my main big purpose. My purpose today is to ignite others' lives. I wrote that down like 3 times because that really is my purpose. And then I broke it down to like, how can I really do that on a tangible, get it done scale today? So for some of you know, my 16-year-old just got his learner's license. And so one of the ways I thought was I could help him drive to school today. Now it didn't end up happening, but it made me realize that that was something I could do today to help fulfill my purpose, which is to ignite others. What is my purpose today? To ignite others. I can show up on this call. I can do my notes. I can be prepared. I can take the time that's required to show up and give the most to you. What is my purpose today? It's to make sure one of my coaches, Coach AM, some of you know, is in the hospital. It was my purpose today to ignite him. So I reached out and I sent him a really, really long text telling him to get well and sending him some love and good wishes. So when you break it down to what is my purpose today, and you actually give yourself something to do, it's so powerful because then you can go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that. A lot of us think like our big purpose is to, end world hunger. That's a big thing out there. That's a lot of work. That's going to take a little bit more time than what can I do today? So anybody want to post in the chat what their purpose is today? Anybody want to share what their purpose is today? And maybe by just sharing, you're actually going to fulfill your purpose. Anybody want to share? If not, I'll just call on you. Yeah. All right, Mike, tell me, go ahead, share. What is your purpose today? Unmute yourself, sir. And just before you start, let's all unmute ourselves and give Mike a big round of applause because he's our newest Ignite author. Signed up yesterday. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, Mike, what's your purpose today?
My purpose today is to connect people to their goals and help them achieve success.
Amen. Amen. Good one. Good one. All right. Anyone else? Who else has got a purpose today that they'd like to share? Go ahead. I'll just call on you. Tracy Stone, you turned on your camera. Let's hear it, girl.
My purpose today was to help somebody who's addicted to gambling to stop that addiction.
Fantastic. Good for you. And I know during the work that you did, you got to fulfill your purpose today.
We rocked.
Fantastic. All right, Clint, your turn.
My purpose today is to spread entrepreneurship as far and wide to other people as possible before I go on to my great reward in heaven.
Aw, fantastic. And you know what? You're going to get to talk to someone in a few minutes. You're going to get to fulfill your purpose. And that is really cool because how many of us feel the disappointment each and every day because we feel like we're not fulfilling our purpose because our purpose is so big. So when you can break it down and bring it into the moment, then there's these incredible feelings of reward. Now, our brains are so dialed into endorphins and all that yummy, good hormones and juices that come from accomplishment and achievement and recognition. So when you can actually prepare yourself and actually set yourself up for success, think of all the ways that you're going to set your brain up for even more. So Mike, Clint, Tracy, they all got their goal today. They fulfilled their purpose. Guess what? Now they're jazzed to go and fulfill it even more and pour into someone else and fulfill it in another person and then make it a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. So set yourself up for those kind of rewards each and every day by doing something to fulfill your purpose. Now put it in the chat if you're afraid to share. I know none of you guys are shy, but I love stuff in the chat. Don't be scared to use the chat. Fill it out. What is your purpose today? And I would love, love, love to hear that. Now, for those of you who have got a copy of Spark Success, it came out last week. That new issue of Spark Success was called Expansion this month. So this whole month is about expansion. And JB just put a little quote in this month's article. It says, ask yourself boldly, Why shouldn't I? Now, if you want to write that down, that's my new favorite quote. Ask yourself boldly, ... why shouldn't I? Now, the reason I love that quote so much is because it's what I call backwards English. Now, how many times have you heard when you were a kid, don't drop that, don't spill that, and what happened? You spilled it. Because the brain didn't hear the don't part. It just heard the spilled it, and it drops it, spills it. So when you say, why shouldn't I? The brain doesn't hear the shouldn't. It hears, why should I? Why shouldn't I? It hears the positive. It hears the benefits. So ask yourself boldly, why shouldn't I go after my dream? Why shouldn't I decide that I want to be the best in my business? Why shouldn't I give that person a call and see if they want to be my client? Why shouldn't I pick up the phone? Why shouldn't I get on Facebook Live and do a post? Why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't I? Now, many of us will be like, well, because I'll get embarrassed, or because it won't sound right, or because somebody might laugh at me. The brain doesn't hear that. It hears the why shouldn't I, which perpetuates the let's do it, let's go for it. And so I want you to write down today, ask yourself boldly, why shouldn't I? And then I want you to write down the thing that you've been avoiding, the thing that you've been resisting, the thing that you really, really want, but you're scared to say it out loud. I want you to write that down. Why shouldn't I? And then write it down. And it could be more than one thing. Why shouldn't I call that person that I know I want to do business with? Why shouldn't I try that new course? Why shouldn't I decide that I want to be the best in my business? Renee, you want to share? You're unmuted.
Yes, I am. So why shouldn't I figure out the formatting, the angle for my next new solo book?
Right. Why shouldn't I? It's going to be so easy. It's going to be so great. It's going to be so fun. It's going to be so rewarding. So add to that your favorite words. And I want you to put your favorite emotion words. Now, many of you, I tell you the story about when I was cycling across Canada, 240 kilometers before the finish line, I stopped the bike and said to Peter, you know what? I actually feel like I'm done. I feel like I could rack the bike and go home right now. We were 240 kilometers short of 5,000 kilometers, 56 days of cycling. And I was like, you know what? I feel so full, so rich, so blessed, so saturated, so humble, so proud of myself. I literally could leave my entire, goal, finish line, and go home now because I was so dialed into the feelings. The number, the 5,000 number didn't matter anymore. The feeling I had was euphoric. I had the same experience just last week with my book. You all know that I published my parenting book, went bestseller in 7 countries, phenomenal experience. And what I realized was the feeling of helping other parents, of actually knowing that people were reading my book, of all of the incredible testimonials that you guys sent me. That feeling was so much more greater than the idea of it going bestseller. It was the feeling. So I want you to write down 3 important emotions that are attached to this why shouldn't I? So Renee, why shouldn't I write the outline for my book? Why shouldn't I? Because I want to have the feelings of power, of support, of encouragement, like whatever those emotions are that matter to you. I'd love for you to write those down. Now, some people are, you guys are all evolved, so I don't have to share it. Some people would say like, well, why shouldn't I? It's because I don't want to be afraid and I don't want to be scared. That in itself, if those are the kind of emotions that are coming up, then those are the best things too, because they show you exactly what your block is. But I'd love to hear some positive ones. Does anyone have one they want to share? Please put it in the chat or just put your hand up. If not, I'll just call on you. You know me, I'm not shy. Ask yourself boldly, why shouldn't I? Kathleen, you want to share? Kate, you want to share? All right, Lizzie, I'll get you next. Go ahead, Kathleen.
So why shouldn't I be the one to bring the message to people over 60? Because I want the feelings of support, compassion, and possibility. Something like that?
Yes,
Okay.
fantastic. Let's give
Okay.
Kathleen a round of applause because she is going to bring that amazing feeling to people over 60 to feel supported. I absolutely believe in you 100%. Kate, you're next, and then Lizzie.
Did you
Just
say
unmute
Clint?
yourself. Thanks, Kate.
Kate, where's Kate?
Are you able to unmute yourself, Kate? No? Okay, Lizzie, you go ahead.
Why
Yasu Kukla.
Kala. Why shouldn't I make this year? Why shouldn't I make this year a super successful season for my apartments? I say in the COVID period. I say they just announced that we can open the 14th of May. So that would be a good thing.
And what are the feelings that when you open up on the 14th of May and have super success with your apartments, what's the feeling you're going to have?
Fearless, powerful, full of energy.
Fantastic. Well, for those of you who are interested, Miss Lizzie has an incredible apartment in the Greek islands. Absolutely phenomenal. I've been trying to get there for a couple of years now. Just incredible. So all of you are invited. She's going to be open on the 14th of May. If you want to go to Greece for a holiday, you are going to have incredible, successful feelings. So when you tap into the feelings, when you pull the feelings into you, that's the beacon, that's the string, that's the thing that gets you going forward, is you focus on the feelings that you want. You focus and you immerse those feelings into your body right now. So all of the feelings that you want to have by accomplishing that goal, you start feeling them now. And the universe, the brain, the power, everything around you starts making that in alignment. So the feelings of fear, the universe will make that in alignment with you. The feelings of success and powerful, the universe will put that in alignment with you also. So it's a really neat, interesting exercise because you're kind of tricking the brain and asking yourself, why shouldn't I? Very, very cool. Anyone else want to share? Any of our guys on the call? Francis?
Why should I? Well, why should I? My French accent right now. I can't say it. I guess it just says, why should you do it? There's no reason why I shouldn't. So I'm super excited about the feeling of helping the people sense that feeling of freedom, this feeling of empowerment when they know that there's no obstacles and they can remove everything. So that's what I'm feeling.
Wonderful. I absolutely adore it. Okay, great. You guys are like star students. All right. So those are your two work pieces. Now let's talk a little bit about how that can benefit your business. So every single time you meet a client, you need to believe in yourself and in them that why shouldn't this person want to work with me? Why shouldn't this person want to buy my book? Why shouldn't this person want to take my course? Why shouldn't this person want to say yes to my contract? Why shouldn't this person give me their credit card? So when you ask yourself, why shouldn't this person want to work with me? And whatever that comes up, guess what? Bingo, that's the thing you get to work on. That's the thing you know is your block. Now, so many of us have what Coach AM calls blind spots. We all heard from him a couple weeks ago. Our blind spots, we don't even know what our blind spots are. But when I think to myself, like, why shouldn't so-and-so want to work with me? Well, because my landing page isn't ready. Okay, perfect. Guess what? Now I get to fix my landing page. It's just the answer is right there. But sometimes when you think about like, oh, I want to work with this person, but they're so important and they're so big and they're so major and they're way ahead of me and they make so much money and I don't think they're going to like this and I better not, I better wait. And you get like looped up into the unknown. Why shouldn't this person want to do business with me? Well, because I don't feel like my landing page is ready. Get your landing page ready. Well, why shouldn't this person want to work with me now? Well, I don't feel like I understand their business well enough. Okay, learn about their business. Well, why shouldn't this person want to work with me? Well, it's because I haven't done my homework. I haven't figured out what's in it for them. So every single time you ask yourself, like, why shouldn't this person buy my book? Why shouldn't this person book me on their podcast? Why shouldn't this person say yes to my business deal? Then you get the answer. And that's the answer that you immediately know you get to go work on. It's really, really cool. So if you all ask yourself right now, why shouldn't what I want happen? You'll get an answer and write that answer down. why shouldn't I have the most amazing business season this year in my apartments? Why shouldn't that happen? Oh, because maybe ... There's still something left for you to do. And when you can answer all of those and solve all of those and get to the point where you say, why shouldn't this person want to do business with me? And you don't have any more excuses, then guess what? You get to show up full charge, totally boosted, ready to rock and roll and knock it out of the park. Because you've systematically knocked down, dealt with, and fixed all the things that are stopping you. So take a moment to write down what immediately comes up for you when you say, you know, why shouldn't this person want to do this deal with me? Why shouldn't this person want to buy my book? Why shouldn't this person want to buy my $10,000 course? Why shouldn't this person want me to be on their podcast? Write down what comes up for you right off the bat. Don't analyze it, just write it down. Now, one of the main things I want to do in this hour is to create some accountability. So please type in the chat what you have to do to make that happen. So go ahead and type it in the chat. Do exactly what you need to do. Like, I've got a pitch deck that I need to do. Les Brown has been on my yes list. They're like, send me a pitch deck. So I have to send my pitch deck. So I'm going to put it in the chat, and that is going to move the needle forward on this deal that I want. And so put it in the chat, the things that you need to do. So let's create some accountability. So next week, I want all of you who are here next week to remind me, like, JB, did you get your pitch deck done? Because that will help me. Like, why shouldn't Les Brown want to do a platinum book with us? Well, I haven't got my pitch deck done. That's why. So I need to get my pitch deck done. And then the universe will make that happen. So put in the chat what you need to do so we can have some accountability. And if there's something you see about someone else that you can support them in, like if somebody wants to help me with my pitch deck, or somebody can support someone else in what they post, write a script for cohort groups. Maybe somebody can help them with that. Is injection wouldn't in place of shouldn't also work? Absolutely. Like, why wouldn't I? Absolutely. Like, why wouldn't I, or why shouldn't I? The only thing is, why wouldn't I is usually is very intellectual. Why shouldn't I sometimes is very tactile or very tangible. So why shouldn't I reach out to Les Brown and pitch him my platinum book? Well, for me, I shouldn't do it yet. For me, is because I don't have the piece that I need to feel that I'm giving him the most information. Why wouldn't I? Well, for me, it's a little bit more, puts me up in the brain and in the thoughts and in the possibilities, where I just want the tangible. I want the facts. I want you to be in fact mode of why shouldn't I? I need to set up my Facebook page. Awesome. Anybody want to help Noah with their Facebook page? She could use some help with that. I want to create 5 resilient intro results group coaching VIP clients. Whew, okay. Anybody want some VIP results coaching about resilience? You got to reach out to Francis. You can help him with that. I want to get the book and course published and onto the market for podcast speaking and engagements. Kathleen, 100% great idea. There's absolutely some people can help you with that. So please put some accountability here so that this is something, this is what you need to do to skyrocket your success, to move the needle, to get you one step closer to what you want, to fulfilling your purpose today, to fulfilling the big purpose, then this is the thing you got to focus on. Make the main thing to fix that so you can get what you want. You know, lots and lots of times I had a really good coaching call with Jonathan Domsky. We saw him a couple of weeks ago. He was sharing with me that where your block is where you need to focus. If you've got, like, he used it in this example. You all know in Ignite, we have our uncover, we have our deep dive, and we have our polish. And what he said to me is, if you've got problems at the uncover and that's where the bottleneck is, there's no point working on the polish or the deep dive because everyone's getting stuck on the uncover. So you got to make the flow at the uncover so that you can get the other things to work on. So don't put your energy, because some of you may be like, well, I really need to set up my Facebook page, but guess what? There's a really good issue of the Housewives of Hollywood on TV, or I really need to do my Facebook page, but for some reason, my forks and knives need to be sorted out in my cutlery drawer. Like, we find these ways to not do what we're supposed to. So really focus on what it is you need to do. So that's the thing that gets done. Why shouldn't I get more guidance from the JB and experts that have made this the greatest impact with my book? Yes, of course. Why shouldn't you? Absolutely. So doing that is going to help you step forward. I absolutely love it. All right. So accountability for each and every one of you. Please, if you want to support anyone, please go ahead and do that. You can copy and paste in the chat. Also, you can do private messages to each other if you want to get emails and private ways to connect, or many of us are on the Ignite platform, or you are on a messenger group, you can connect with people that way. Okay, we're going to move right into this exciting part, which is the networking side of it. So what is networking all about? Well, we have really an incredible community here, and I want you to meet each other and connect with each other. So there's a little bit of parameters around this so that we make it super effective and we get the most out of it. So when you network with someone, and I've talked about it before, but I'm going to say it again, they're not really interested in the story. What they're interested in is you, what you do, and what you can do for them. So in a networking session, the most important thing to get off at the very front of the beginning of the session is who you are, what you do, and what you can do for them. And so what you're going to do is you're going to say, I help, or I support, or I encourage. So the first letter is I, and then the next word is a verb. So you help people, you support people, you teach people, you empower, you encourage, you allow, you've got a verb in there. And then you say what you do. So I help people become international best-selling authors. I inspire individuals to be the best version of themselves. I show people how to cut their yard and mow their lawn and make a beautiful garden. I instill in children the ability to play the clarinet. So you're going to have a very distinct first sentence of what you do with a verb to it. And then you're going to say in how long you do it. So I help children learn to play the clarinet by using a practiced or technical or something I've taught in 6 weeks. I show people how to build an incredible, beautiful home that they can move into in 6 months. I build structures for people so they can do their social media in just 3 weeks. So it's a very succinct style of introducing yourself. And the reason we do that is because when you first meet someone, you say, hi, I'm JB, and I just had my birthday, and my son just got his driver's license on Friday, and that's been really cool. And it's cold out here. It's snowing. I still live in Canada. I'm by my mom now because my mom had a stroke last year, so I'm closer to her. And what I do is I help authors, and I've been doing that for about 18 months. Like, can you see already the way the person is like, yikes? If you just tell them what you do, how you do it, and how quickly you do it, then the interesting thing about that is it allows the conversation to progress. They'll say, oh, how do you do that? Or where do you do that? Or how do I do that? Or how can you help me do that? And if they're not interested in what you do, then they can just take down the data and be like, cool, I'm going to, next time I need to talk to someone who needs a dog walker, I'm going to be able to help. I'm going to be able to refer them to you. So it's a very, very quick way of meeting each other. It's a very succinct way of finding out how someone can help you. And so what we're going to do is break you into breakout rooms. We're going to give you 2 minutes each to share what you do what you do in this very succinct way. And we're going to allow you to open up to conversation. Now, have your paper and pen, because you're going to want to get this person's info. You're going to want to know how to connect with them. So have their name and their information, and potentially you even have your information so that when we come back to the main room, you can drop it into the chat. You guys can share with each other. All right, Peter, are you ready to put everyone into breakout rooms? So 2 minutes each. The breakout rooms will be about 4 minutes. You'll be able to meet another person, share your very succinct sharing. Make sure that each person gets a chance to chat. And then we'll come back and we'll have a little talk about it, and we'll have a little discussion. Are you ready, Peter?
I am ready to go.
Okay, here we go, everyone. Off to our networking.
Fun, guys.
Have fun.
Hey, Lizzie, are you here?
Clint, you're still muted, Clint.
How exciting was that? I love it. Hey, who met their new best friend? Who met somebody fantastic? Anybody want to share who they met? I would love it. Unmute yourself and just share somebody. If you want to introduce somebody else, that would be super cool. Anybody want to do that?
I'll do
Yeah,
that.
go ahead there, Jay. Hi, gorgeous.
Hey, you. So I just met Renee, who I have not met before. She's beautiful. And I guess she's a newish author, and she's going to be in the Possibilities book. She's very excited because she just turned in her chapter. Yeah, so she's up to some really cool stuff, and it was great to meet her. So that was fun. Thanks.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Anybody else want to introduce their buddy? Renee, you want to introduce Judy back?
Yes. So funny that you started this whole thing with there are no accidents. So the minute I get on the phone with Jay, she says, "What do you do? And what do you need?" So she helps businesses monetize, and I said I need to monetize, but anyway, I gave her my reasons, and she called bullshit on it. And she's fabulous. She's the owner of Unforgettable Brands, so I'm looking forward to having her make me an unforgettable brand.
But I did call bullshit with love, just so you know.
Oh, I know, of course.
We know you only call bullshit with love. And so for those of you who are interested, Jay Winslow has an incredible Candlelight Conversation recording inside your Ignite Connect library, so you can go and watch that. Fantastic. Jay's one of my powerhouse partners in crime, and we're going to be doing a diamond edition of a training, including us and me and some other people and Jay later on in the year. So absolutely someone I just absolutely adore. All right, anybody else want to introduce somebody they met? No? Okay, well, Peter's going to break you into breakout rooms again. Now, I'm hoping that the luck of the fabulous draw and the universe and all the Lokis that are out there puts you in a room with somebody else. So off we go. Here we go. One more time. Let's have a great breakout this time. Make your magic happen, Peter.
Hey, it's coming.
Yeah, you didn't know I was going to make you have to turn it around that quickly. Here we go.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, Peter, my partner, I don't know who it was, but
Yeah, you were in a room by yourself. I was just trying to move you and you popped out too soon. So you're with me.
Oh, perfect. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, my gosh, you've got a lot of things working on at the moment, Peter.
Oh, we all do, right? We got a lot going on.
Okay.
Yeah, the big one is this whole Ignite Connect platform, and just trying to get a big prototype of it ready for the realm of possibilities. So, but how are you doing? What have you been working on lately?
Oh, I've got a few things as well, and one goal that I've been working on for a little while now is a foundation to support children to be able to write their stories. And I know for me, the thing that my block is making it known. So yeah, that's a challenge for me because I get stuck with who needs to know about it, what do they need to know, and so I need to go down that path. How do I make them know? How do I make the right people? How do I get it in front of the right people? Who are the right people? So yeah, it's spreading the word. So,
yeah, that's always the rough one, right? Is, we're learning, it's all about when you're first starting, it's promote, right? And you just got to promote it to whoever, wherever you can. And then eventually through that, the right people will start to show up.
And it gets momentum.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it, right? So it's even with this call, right? I'm like, we're shifting this one. And I'm like I said, my goal is to have 300 authors, right? We have a database of 300 authors. Is how do we get to 15 or 16 that keep consistently show up every week? to now talk about it, to get 2 or 3 more every week. If every week we get 3, 4 more new authors, eventually, you know, in the next couple of weeks, we have everybody showing up.
Yes, you'll get there. There's an energy. It's coming.
Yep.
Get there. Well, look at today. Look at today. You know,
Yeah.
by about 5 minutes after the hour, there were how many people on the call? You know, 15. So it's exciting.
Exactly, right. And you're exactly right. It's the energy, and you know, this is a new one. So I'm happy with this, with 20 people showing up today for the very first time. You know, we just started introducing it. So now as we talk about it and we share it, and they feel, you know, they learn what they're going to get here, because we attend one on every, so we got this idea from another event that JB and I attend, that every week they just show up, and the energy, they just keep generating the energy. And now 400 or 500 people show up every single Tuesday, because it's the same day, same time, you know, and the energy's there. So.
And you know, the other thing with networking, Peter, is people need to feel they have something in common, even though they don't know the person personally. This is why this type of networking in the breakout groups is so powerful for all the introverts.
Yeah.
You know, because people want to have that one-on-one conversation.
Right.
And that's how it all comes together. It's a really great venue.
Yep, I agree.
Supersonic. All right. I saw a little brief little moment where I could see people in different rooms. So anybody want to introduce who they met? Anybody want to share their meeting? Yeah, go ahead, Kathleen.
Okay, well, you've met Renee, but you get to meet her again. I'm sorry. There it is. So, but what I want to tell you is, yeah, what I want to tell you is that Renee does something called a positive report, and and also a weekly kindness challenge. In her positive report, she puts in links and everything that show the positive news and what we're doing in a good way and so on. And then, so she has a weekly kindness challenge that's on social media and also the website, and she's getting that out all around the world, which, you know, when you have that kind of energy floating around, it's like the domino effect. So yeah, I'm really excited for her to be successful in that.
See, there you go. You just showed up and now you got 2 new fans. That's awesome. All right, do you want to introduce Kathleen?
I do. Okay. So Kathleen, another one of these synchronicities, perfect person for me to talk to, because she is finishing up a book about empowering people over 60, and I'm turning 59 next month. So I'm thinking, oh, but her book is just about how to repurpose the second half of your life. And she is brilliant and inspiring. I want her to finish her book so I can read it.
Yeah, absolutely. Kathleen, tell us that power title for your book.
Yeah.
Oh God, JB, I don't know, darling, but I'm going with Yes, You Can, How to Have a Brilliant Kick-Ass Second Half of Life.
Yes, you can.
But I don't know about Yes, You Can. I don't know yet. I mean, it might change. I don't know. We'll
Well,
see.
put in the chat, people, if you think Yes, You Can is awesome. Or any thoughts about that? I think it's a great title. Yes, you can. Why not? Pausing him all around, right? Big bold letters. Yes, you can.
That's right.
Just like we put big bold letters when we were doing the email for the Ignite Live. The IT team was like, Ignite Live, and I was like, no, bigger. And they're like, Ignite Live, and I'm like, no, bigger. And they're like, Ignite Live, and I'm like, make it Showgirl. I'm like, I want to see Broadway. And then they're like, okay, Ignite Live. So make it bold, step right out, make it fun. Alrighty, well, fantastic. So that's our networking session for today. I love that it was going well. We're definitely I think it was a super success, and we want you to meet and connect with with other people in the group. Now, how can you do that outside of Ignite Live? Well, please go to the Ignite Community Facebook page. Peter will put it in the chat. If you've not yet been to Ignite Community, here's a cool thing. That is an environment that each and every one of you are allowed to post in. I give you 100% my permission to post your courses, post your apartments in Greece, post your events that you're doing for entrepreneurs, post your coaching, post your resilience, post your RTT. You're absolutely 100% available and welcome to post. Now, one of the things I will share with you that I've learned in Clubhouse is that when you give a free offer, along with an ask, you get a lot more response. So, hey, get my free 5 tips on how to ... And I'll just share with you that I am also teaching at ... So when you're posting in Ignite community, and even when you're coming to the network, have something free to give away. Have something free to offer authors, so that you can get them into your ecosystem. You can get them to connect with you. Always have a free offer. So whatever you're up to, one of the things you're going to learn from this call, when you go home tonight after this call, get a free offer percolating in your mind. What can you do? A 5-tip email, a PDF, a download, a 30-minute coaching session, a meditation, a affirmation, a post, a link, a chat, a text, whatever it is. Allow yourself to get into people's ecosystem by sending them something and give them something for free. And at the same time, you can post your offer. So in the Ignite, in the chat, Peter will post the Ignite community. You're always welcome to connect there. Now, Ignite Live is going to be every Tuesday. So please tell all the other cool Ignite authors that you know to show up. In fact, message some of them on Messenger, because what we know is we're getting a 1% open rate on emails. And Facebook is so cluttered now with posting that, like, I used to go on my Facebook feed and see all of you. I knew what you're all doing. I knew what your kids were doing. I knew what you were eating. I knew what your pets look like. And now I go on Facebook and all I see is buy this, get this, sign up for this, go get this, sign up now. This is free. Try this, trial now. It's so disappointing. I'm like, where are all my friends? So please message people directly to tell them to join Ignite Live. The link will stay the same. Is that correct, Peter? We put the link in the chat because the link will be the same each and every week, so you can all join. It's 100% open for Ignite authors. We're keeping it into the Ignite author community, so just share with other Ignite authors. Now, last but not least, I want to remind you that this Saturday's Candlelight Conversation is with Manny Lopez. Now, Manny, super cool dude. He is a big PR guy. He is all about PR. He's all about promoting yourself. He has an incredible business called Orphans to CEO. He teaches orphans and kids who are living in foster care how to get into entrepreneurship outside when they get fostered out. I'm being part of his 1-year TV show that he's starting to film. I have signed up to be a part of that. He has an incredibly free networking session, and he's going to talk about that on Saturday. So please come to the Candlelight Conversation on Saturday. Peter will put the post in the link in the chat. And for those of you who have shown up and you're not a part of the free VIP sessions for Candlelight Conversation, Peter's going to put in the free chat. Normally we have a pay what's possible opportunity for Candlelight Conversations, but because you're all pioneers of Ignite Live, we're just going to make it free for you. So please come to Candlelight Conversations free this Saturday and learn from Manny Lopez. One of the cool things is Manny has a great networking community that you can go to his community and meet other people there also. I was just talking to Kate during my session where we were networking. We were talking about birds of a feather flock together. So the more people you can meet who are in your sphere, those are people like you, and they're going to have people in their sphere. So that's a really great way to connect. Now, speaking of Connect, Ignite Connect, who's not on Ignite Connect? For those of you who have been out of the ecosystem for a bit, please click on the link. Peter is going to share with everyone Ignite Connect. That's the place to be, because that's where we have all of the things in the library, the books, the programs, the Candlelight Conversations, the Writer's Nest, the masterminds. There's a whole bunch of fun stuff in Ignite Connect, and we would love for you to be a part of that. And last but not least, drum roll please, we have just launched our brand new and our next book, Ignite the Global Leader. Ignite Global Leadership is our next book. So if you are wanting to write your next story, or you know somebody who has an incredible story, Ignite Global Leadership is our next book, and it's all about people who have had Ignite moments that have inspired them to do something on a global level. They want to move the needle. Now, they don't have to be doing it just yet. They don't have to be already on a global scale, but their desire, their passion, their purpose, the reason that they want to move forward is so that they can make a global ripple in the world. Now, they can already be doing it, heading towards it, in the midst of it, NGOs, nonprofits, inventions, leadership, CEOs, people in business, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, moving the needle in global leadership. So that is our new book. And of course, Ignite the Entrepreneur is also looking for entrepreneurs, and we're very excited. I got a brand new entrepreneur today. So that is getting a 4-week push. Our Ignite the Entrepreneur book and Ignite Possibilities is getting a 4-week push because we need a few more people in that book. You know, my magic number is 35. So we need 35 authors. So if you know somebody who you think would be great for Ignite Possibilities, Ignite the Entrepreneur, or now Ignite Global Leadership, please, please, please get them connected with us, and we would love for them to share their story. All right, that's about it. I think I told you everything. I like really poured it on today. Well, that's just get ready, people. Get the big basket when you come up to Ignite Connect, because I'm going to give you as much as I possibly can. I'm going to share with you and pour into you all that I got for the whole entire week. This is going to be my favorite day of the week. We have now eliminated all of our other smaller masterminds so we can all come together in this one. Now I'm going to stay behind if anybody has a question in regards to their story, anyone struggling with their story, anyone needing some a little bit of sharing with their story. I'm going to stick around if you want to talk about your story, and I'll be here. Other than that, big hugs and kisses, blow kisses. Love you all. Have a fabulous day, and go out and ignite yourself, ignite the people around you, ignite humanity, and just keep being great, because you're amazing and you're awesome. I love you guys all. Okay, have a great one. Ciao, ciao. Take care. Have fun. Be good. Go out and be grand. Do the things you do, because life is waiting for you.